Yes, I quit my job. Whew. My name is Shathi Somalekai, an attorney by profession for a long time. That has been alongside the law firm Collins Chilisa Consultants. And that's no longer the case because, like I said, I quit my job. It's insane. If anybody had told me at the beginning of the year 2022 that that's how my life was going to unfold, I would have said absolutely no. Would have been in complete disbelief, but here we are. Today I want to share the evolution coming to the point where I made the decision. And when I reflect, I just think there's a point in your life when you're seeking to elevate and different things happen and an energy sort of overcomes you that causes you in the moment to act. It's an energy of action. And that's what happened to me, to be honest. I transcended fear and I find myself making a decision that even when I look back, I'm just like, whoa, Shathi, what was that? Really ballsy. The last week of July, I had an offer made and I had a look at it, but because for that week, there were lots of things I needed to do on the work end and also in terms of some of the voluntary stuff I do, I decided, you know what, I'm just going to put this on the back burner for now, give priority to what requires my attention immediately, and then I would communicate my response to the offer when I had a definite response. So the week passed, and coincidentally that Saturday was the launch of Motheo Lawyers and Mentorship Trust. I'm the board chairperson of that trust. It was a successful event. And then on Sunday, which I believe was the 30th of July, I decided, you know what? Let me have a look at this letter again, or rather offer, and give thought to it. I contemplated on it, throughout the day. Had a chat with one of my very close friends about it. And then I contacted my employer, Boki Chilisa, to get a few points of clarity to say, what does clause X mean and what does that mean? He communicated the meaning behind, or gave clarity rather. And I said, okay, well and good. So I said, you know what, I'll respond. Because ordinarily when I get an offer, I'm the type of person who I jump at it, But this time around, I was questioning so many different things, especially looking at the time that I've spent at the firm, what I've put in. And despite the fact that the numbers looked so good, there was something about it that was just not correlating with me and was not giving me a sense that my time and input that I would be giving would be reciprocated at the level that I was of the energy that I was putting in. And the fact that I was questioning it itself was a huge indication that weirdly, I just couldn't sleep. And I'm one of those people who, the minute I jump into bed, like I fall and I die, literally. But I couldn't sleep, and I was tossing and turning. And then I woke up, I'm like, oh, let me do some yoga, to try get my body to, rest. Tried some yoga, that didn't work. Went downstairs, let me have some water, not working. So then I sat back on my bed and I thought to myself, what is this? What is this? Why can't you sleep in spite of your exhaustion? So I searched deep within myself and I thought about my so-called existential crises. I checked my phone recently. I was talking to a friend and they were like, yo, when I talked to you a couple of months back, you were like, you were having an existential crisis. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. And I typed it out on my phone, on my WhatsApp, and I found that the number of times I had written existential crises was so many and to different people. So I look at it and I'm like, oh, that's what was happening. I would sit in my bed for hours on end on the weekends and sometimes even during the week after work, and I would just be paralyzed, not knowing what was this feeling that was overcoming me. What was it trying to communicate? And in the end, I realized it was just trying to say, baby girl, it's time for you to move on to something bigger in your life. And then something just said to go back and look at that offer that you received. And I read it several times. And the more I read it, the more it just didn't resonate with me. It wasn't a reflection of what I thought I wanted, of, energetically. The numbers looked good and, that should have been a good enough poll, but for some reason, even that wasn't catchy enough for me to accept. So then I realized, this is why I can't sleep. It's that your journey here is done. And I took my laptop and I started to type out my resignation letter. I knew that if I didn't do it then, I would never ever do it. And so I typed out my resignation letter with immediate effect. And I closed my laptop. And as fate would have it, I was able to fall asleep. I fell asleep like a baby. And when I woke up the next day, I had a huge sense of relief and a peace that I had made a decision that aligned with the purpose for my life. So yeah, quit my job. But I suppose the question, was there conflict?